Hello, ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between and beyond. My name is Taylor, and welcome back to the art table for November 2023, this time featuring Casperian art. At least I hope I'm saying that correctly. Now, Cas, as I will be calling them, just for the sake of ease, is a wonderful, as far as I can tell, just general artist. Now, I do believe she's open for commissions, though I will obviously leave her social media links in the description down below, so it is up to you to contact her about that. Want to reiterate one more time, as per usual, any commissions you have done are between you and the artist. I'm in no way involved. I don't take any sort of kickback, discount, commission, promotion, or anything in relation to these videos. If I have a commission done by the artist, I will always let you know, and it is always done outside of the scope of these videos. Now, one more thing, please do not share Cass's work outside of the scope of this video. Again, please feel free to share this video. However, do not share her work beyond this video without her express permission. I do have a verbal consent from Cass to show off her artwork, and I always send a version of this video to the artist before I let it go live to make sure they are comfortable with everything I say and everything that I have shown. With all that being said, Cass is a phenomenal character artist, but also background artist. I think she does great work and was very much giving me fall vibes. Now, I'm from Canada, more specifically Calgary. And in Calgary, we don't have autumn. We don't have fall. If we do, it's for about a week. We have blazing hot summers, which are, sprinkled intermittently with hail, followed by some of the weirdest winters you've ever experienced, because we'll go from minus 30 degrees Celsius to like plus 10, because we get Chinooks and other things that come through that really change up the weather. So to me, autumn is a beautiful season, but also a very foreign concept. Now, I am recording this in late September here in Korea, just due to my schedule, so I have not experienced a proper autumn yet, though from the looks of it, when I look outside my window, it will actually happen, and I'm kind of confused. So I partly chose the pieces that will be featured today because it's my idea of what autumn or fall is supposed to feel like, what it's supposed to be, but I genuinely have no idea from personal experience, so I hope you'll come along with me on this journey to kind of experience that together. With all that rambling out of the way, let's get into the artwork. So as I just alluded to, I really don't fully understand the season of autumn, or just how beautiful it can be. I've only seen artistic renditions such as this one, which I think was the first piece that really caught my attention, partly because it's just so beautiful in how gentle it is. It clearly takes place near the end of autumn as the leaves are falling, trees are going barren, but it's just such a nice, calm, serene feeling to it. A gentle bridge leading off into what might become a dark forest later in the evening, but is now just this, not necessarily ominous, but kind of gentle, flowing, wooded area. Clearly a young woman standing on the bridge, gazing out into what I can only assume would be a lovely, kind of crisp fall day, enjoying the weather until it finally comes to snow. And normally, I'm not a big fan of browns, or kind of oranges, or those more, I don't want to say muddy tones, but more earthy tones, I guess. And for me, I really love this image in spite of my lack of appreciation for those earthy tones. I think the bridge is beautiful, it has a wonderful contrast against the nice crisp water. But I appreciate the gentleness of it all, and I appreciate the feeling that it gives me, and the hope that it gives me that fall will be this pretty, where I am here in South Korea. It's hard for me to say anything else about this piece, like creating a story like I've been trying to do lately, because it's just a nice, gentle serenity that I don't think I've found with a lot of other pieces. And I haven't found many pieces that help me appreciate, again, those earthy colors that are used really well here, like the subtle oranges on her bow. I'm not exactly sure what that is wrapped around her waist. The nice flowers in her hat. Just all in all, it's a really comforting piece, and it's a really attractive piece for that reason. And we're going to move on to something kind of similar in terms of its vibe. So I really like this piece that I think I would call Starlight, just because it's so, again, it's gentle, it's vibrant, but it's a really feel-good kind of piece. Like, this feels like someone, obviously, who loves stars, maybe meeting a friend or a romantic partner who set this up for them as they walk through this field of stars on a fall evening as the sun's just slowly setting, creating that gentle orange, as they go sit down for a lovely dinner or just to hang out on a nice date. Like, it's, to me, very comforting and how just calm and natural everything is, but also the light off the stars looks great. The illumination in her eyes is beautiful. And again, I appreciate just the gentle, deeper orange, that kind of sunset color contrasting with these beautiful stars that we know are going to come out later on that evening, but seeing them together is just such a nice treat. And I understand that I'm going to be talking a lot about the earthy tones, the oranges, the browns. But again, for me, those aren't things that I've experienced a lot of. Sure, I've had pumpkins, but that's about as much orange as we tend to get. We get about a week of the leaves changing color, and then they're gone. So just to see it and see how much beauty it can actually hold is really nice. It's really refreshing in some ways. And we're going to move on to something else that's refreshing in kind of a different way. So I picked this piece because I'm a huge animal lover, and I mean, the fox is just so cute. I was very much getting kind of wood elf vibes, or very natural, kind of, not creature vibes, but humanoid vibes, right? She's got pointy ears. It's very evocative of more of a nature elf or nature spirit type humanoid creature, just hanging out with their pet fox. Like, it's super cute. It's super gentle. And I love how fluffy the fox looks. Like, his tail just looks like it would be the softest thing to touch. Now, as far as I understand it, this is Casperian's, I don't want to say OC, because I'm sure many of the characters she has created are original characters, but this is the one that, as far as I can tell, depicts her most often, and is the one used for her profile picture. So it feels very personal. Like, I don't know if she has a pet fox, maybe she has a dog, or just an animal she likes to cuddle with, and this was a way of representing that animal, but it feels very personal. It feels like I could sit down with my dog, or my mom's dog rather, though he's not that big, and just cuddle with him, enjoy hanging out in the same way. So there was definitely some personal bias in not only my love of animals, but my connection with enjoying the comfort of a companion, and just having a relaxing day, knowing that they don't complicate things, they don't think about things too much, they just have a pure love for you the same way you have for them, and they express it whenever they feel like. And there was just a nice, reassuring comfort in that, which is kind of similar to our next piece. So I chose this next piece partly because, as I'd mentioned in the last video, I haven't covered a whole lot of sketch work, and looking back on it, I really regret it, knowing that some of the most high quality pieces artists have produced have been sketch works. So I wanted to make sure I didn't fall into that same trap again. And I love this piece partly because even the selection of the paper. Now, I don't know if the background is colored or if that is just the coloration of the paper, because I can see kind of white marks around the edges, which makes me wonder, was this an intended background or was this the paper choice? And it started making me think, okay, well, if this was a paper choice, it works really well to give the skin an almost gradient look, like make it look more realistic, but it also fits better in helping to create a more natural skin tone for what she was going for. And I loved the muted tones, the kind of soft tones. It's still green, it's still the golden eye color, but it's not like jumping off the page at you. It sits there comfortably and is pleasing to the eye. And this also, again, for me, as far as I understood it, was a repeated character. And that's what made me believe that this was Casperian's kind of main representative character, I guess, or kind of the character that they most associate with being their character. It was just a nice, well done piece that made me appreciate just how much can go into sketch work. Not to mention the fact that she has fantastic shading to really give it a proper depth here. I cover so many digital works that I think are absolutely phenomenal, and I've seen the tools that are available to artists to make certain effects or create certain feelings. And to me, it's so much different. Not necessarily crazier or more difficult, because I don't know. I'm not an artist. But it's so different to me when I see a sketch work that does those same things that you could do digitally, because I know it was a very different process to try and get there. And I really appreciate it. Even the subtle kind of blush near the cheek, just under the eye, looks really good. And I don't know, I really like this piece, more so from a technical standpoint, because I couldn't really tell a story with this one, but it still just stood out to me as to being something I really wanted to showcase. This next piece, however, absolutely tells a story. So I picked this piece because it was absolutely stunning. Like, this is the piece for me that said, okay, this has to be a focus piece for sure. Because I love the purples, the pinks, the greens, the light blue. I love the vibrancy of it. And I know it's more of a spring picture, it's not necessarily depicting either fall or the winter that we're going into, but I love the colors in it. It's so gorgeous. I also love the fact that it almost seems like it was an out of focus picture. Like, it's just that slight blurriness to it all that makes it that much softer, that makes it that much more inviting. And there's no real focal point outside of the bridge, and obviously the bridge kind of helps your eye move from either the right to the left or left to the right. Personally, I was left to right. But then you notice like the smaller elements in there. You notice the little bees flying around, or the little box-shaped Eevee-looking creature that's in the far left with like a little flower crown. I don't know if that's meant to be Eevee. I don't know if this is a Pokemon thing, but still, it looks absolutely stunning. And for me, this was absolutely a standout piece because this is where you go, like by yourself or with your loved one, like once a year. This is your secret spot. This is the spot you tell no one about when you need an absolute escape from everyone else, from all of society. This is your spot. This is where you go. You don't go there all that often because it has to remain special. It has to remain yours. And if you go there, once a week, once a month even, that is just, it's going to lose that special feeling for you. So you go there when you have absolutely nowhere else to go. When you're at your breaking point, and then you just sit in the flowers or you stand on the bridge and you just appreciate the beauty of the nature around you. You don't tell anyone where you are. You don't keep track of time. You forget everything. And I would love to find a place like this for Kat and I to go to. I would love for us to have our place. And I really hope I can find that here in Korea. I hope I can find that wherever we happen to live in the foreseeable future. And I would absolutely love if it could be a place like this. All right, ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between and beyond, thank you so much for reaching the halfway point of the video. This is always the point where I like to jump in and remind you guys that Casperian's social medias as well as commission pages are linked in the description down below. Feel free to hit her up on all of her socials. Also, just wanted to quickly remind you, please do not share her work without her permission. You are more than welcome to share my video, though don't remove any of the commentary and don't edit it in a way that it seems like it's your work or that is not you representing this work. Rather, that it is you representing this work. In addition to that, please don't get to, like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. I would love to see the channel grow for the sake of getting these artists out to more people. I was more than over the moon when I got a message after releasing the September art table featuring Natalia that someone had messaged me over Instagram asking if I did the commission work, like if I could do a piece for them. So I directed them toward Natalia's page, and I hope that meant a commission for her. That is why I do this. That is why I love making these videos, because I'm a super small channel. I understand that. But if I can get these people, these artists, even one more commission or one extra set of eyes on their work, I can feel proud about that. And then I think to myself, what if the channel was bigger? What if we had even more eyes in front of them? How much more work would they get? How many more people would be seeing their work for the first time and thinking, I love this, I want this? So please, by all means, hit up the artist, ask for a commission. It is still well within their right to deny that commission or set the parameters for price, time, everything like that. That is between you and them. But I would be ecstatic if you found them through this video and decided to contact them. So please do so. And if you can, share the video, it would be awesome. With that being said, let's get back to the artwork. So I picked this to be the next piece because to me it represents something really significant, and that is portraying people with a disability or in some way, disfigurement, but not portraying them in such a way that it makes the viewer pity them or feel bad for them, or not in such a way that you show that they have an active hindrance on the way they live their lives. And it can be hard to do. I absolutely understand that, because you want to not portray individuals with disabilities in such a way that it doesn't look like they have a disability, but you want to also not make that the sole focus of your art. You don't want them to feel pitied. You don't want them to be looked down on. You just want to say, hey, these people are different and that's okay. They can still live their lives just as well, if not sometimes better than other people. And I really love this piece for that exact reason. Like, yes, this woman is in a wheelchair, but it doesn't stop her from having a smile on her face. It doesn't stop her from doing magic or having a cute little lizard friend. She looks fabulous in her purple dress, nice witch's hat, and some fantastic shoes. And I could not be more appreciative of that fact. Now, I personally do not have a disability. I have terrible eyes and I have asthma, but nothing that I would consider the level of, being paralyzed or having a mental disability or a physical disability of any real significant degree. So I cannot speak, nor will I choose to speak for the disabled community, though I stand with them. I think they are often depicted in inappropriate ways, whether that's focusing too much on their disability or showing them to be almost dependent on other people, as though they couldn't live their lives in spite of their disability. And that this artwork, this kind of representation, is exactly what we need in the world. It's showing them they can be different but equal, and they're not going to let a disability slow them down. So yeah, I really wanted to highlight this piece for someone out there who, as you're seeing this, maybe you're in that kind of situation, and though you can't cast magic, I want them to know that life is going to be okay. You still have that opportunity to live life to the fullest and make the most out of what life you do have. I would also love to see more artists tackle individuals with disabilities, whether that's them being in a wheelchair, maybe missing a limb, or in some way being potentially mentally disabled, and just showing them still living a fulfilling and happy life, because I think a lot of people need that, and they don't always find themselves being represented in media like this. So yes, I've talked for a long time about this piece, but I think it's really, really important, and I think it's wonderful that Casperian has decided to showcase these things in her work. So I just wanted to make sure I highlighted that. Now, with all that being said, we are going to move on to another piece that's maybe a little more lighthearted in terms of its topic. So I chose this piece partly because I love big windows that let a lot of light in. I've learned to appreciate them over the years, and I can't think of a better design than, I'm going to screw it up, polyhedron, I think. Basically a D20, not only because of the D&D references that it could obviously have, but also just the amount of light it would let in. Awesome. Now, I was really confused by this piece at first because of the angle that the grass is at, that the sun is at, and then especially the dragon is at. It makes it look like this is the front of, maybe not a car, but almost some sort of hovercraft that's going forward towards the dragon, so it's kind of horizontal with the ground. That, to me, was the only way that this imagery worked, unless it was like a massive skylight and they were just for some reason in a hole with a bunch of flowers, which made less sense to me. But I mean, I would love this as either a skylight or, like I said, just like a window looking out onto a field. Like, this to me was just a really, really neat idea, and I love the colors because, again, they're vibrant without exploding off of the image. Like, they're there, they're strong, they're powerful, they're noticeable, but they don't jump out at you really hard. They still keep this soft feeling to them, and I really appreciate that because, yes, the dragon in the background can be rather intimidating or give the sense of action and power, but the piece as a whole feels very slow, very calm. It's just a few clouds in the sky, lazily drifting as your impending doom speeds towards you. So I chose this next piece partly because, A, really like the color scheme. She very much likes her blues and her greens. I think that's great. I love the colors. They're very nice. They're very natural. They're very light and just comforting. And she uses them to really good effects to capture just the soft, gentle beauty of nature. But also, it was really interesting to see the same character depicted in A, different outfits, so it'd be different styles all in the same image. So we're gonna go from left to right. You obviously on the left have this very cute chibi style, kind of enjoying this magical flower, and it's really nice. It's a cute little chibi. There's not much to say about it. She's probably practicing her, don't know what the official name would be for plant magic, Floromancy, presumably, though I could be wrong there. But then in the middle picture, you have almost like, I mean, it's a much more detailed style, but it's almost like a Disney princess kind of a vibe, where she's in the forest. I would imagine she's probably a druid, based on the outfit, if we were to put her in a D&D class, talking with just a little blue jay. And I love the blue highlights in the hair that really help stand out against both the skyline, but also they help to break up the color differentiation between the blue in the sky, the blue jay, her blue eyes. There's just lots of different shades of blue to help kind of give it variation. And then the interesting kind of feather vest thing, I don't know what to call it, that she's wearing, gives, again, this very druidic, natural feel to it. And finally, you end up on kind of like a more of a goddess, or maybe even a water nymph kind of depiction in this almost hybrid between chibi and detailed style as she's walking through this river. It was really nice to see the same character depicted in different art styles, because it's really hard sometimes to differentiate what an artist's different styles are, what they're really capable of, if you don't see them side by side. So sure, you can see the same character depicted in different styles, but you don't really notice just how different, just how much they contrast with one another, and just how wide an artist's skill set is until you see them in the same image. So I thought that was lovely. Now, I chose this next piece because to me it depicts one of the hardest things to do, especially as an artist, which is animation. Because you have to make every single frame line up properly with the previous one, and then help it all flow together. And if you have too many frames, it can look awkward or stilted. If you have too few frames, it can feel like it's jumping around and that things aren't meshing well. So it's a huge hurdle to try to balance all of that. And she has done it wonderfully. Not to mention the fact that it's all kind of this sketch style animation, where it's obviously all black and white, but then you get the vibrant color of the blush, and especially when her eyes open and the golden glow comes out. It's mind-blowing to me that people can do this. And I know there are people working in the animation industry, or, DreamWorks, Pixar, all those kinds of people, and they blow my mind just as much. Like, to me, the idea of animation is insane, and I can't wrap my head around how much time, how much work goes into these kinds of things. So I really want to start showcasing more variety in the pieces if I can. If the artist has a piece that is varied, that is different from their usual style, I feel even more compelled to show it, just to help showcase the breadth of their work, the width and variety in their skill set, to help really depict them as an artist. So yeah, I absolutely loved this piece. Finally, I chose this to be the last piece of the show because, well, at the time that this releases, it will be November 14th, and in just a month and 10 days after that release, it'll be Christmas. So this felt like more than a fitting image to show, as we can kind of look forward to what the season will bring, and hopefully we can take the holiday season to spend time with loved ones, with friends, and really enjoy ourselves. Because I've noticed this too, as I get older, as many people who watch this get older, we kind of lose the joy, the magic of what Christmas used to mean to us. To a lot of us, it means, nowadays at least, it means some time to catch up with family, some time to be away from work, be away from school, be away from the things that have eaten up so much of our lives before the holidays, that we don't always appreciate just the sheer joy and the wonder that all of these beautiful Christmas trees or nativity scenes or lights in general, just the creativeness, how insane people get with it. We don't appreciate the beauty of that, of the artwork there. We've lost our childlike wonder, and I think some of us should really try to get it back, because we would benefit from it. Not to mention, it's a super cute fox. Like, come on, that's just so cute. And you know he's jumping on that tree and knocking the whole thing over in about 30 seconds, and it's gonna be a mess. So it's the mixture of the cute with the foreboding mischief that's about to incur, that we all know is going to happen, that really made me appreciate this piece. Okay, ladies, gentlemen, everyone in between and beyond, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I want to shout out one more time, as per usual, Casperian's social media and commission page links will be down in the description below. Please, by all means, check her out. Commission her if you're interested. And don't forget to share this video. The more eyeballs that it sees, the more likely she is to get a commission request, and that, to me, is my ultimate goal. I do this for the love of the artwork. I don't take any sort of kickback, promotion, commission, discount, anything like that. If an artist shares the video, it's purely of their free will. I don't ask them to do it. But it's always appreciated when it happens, and I make sure to shout out their work when I can. Thank you again so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Do remember that the art table comes out on the 14th of every month. The podcast comes out on the 24th of every month. So if you want to hear me and my stupid voice talking about getting all achievements in games with a number of guests about a variety of different games, please by all means check it out. With that being said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, the usual YouTube stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!